I don't need to say much, if anything. I'm going to hand over the microphone to my dean. I just want to say that I am one of the very few professors at a law school in America who's fortunate enough to have a dean who understands what he does, what I do. I've got a dean who has, I think, led a rather similar path as I have. I've been a startup lawyer. I've worked at large law firm. I've been in government. I've been a policy advocate. I've been in and out of government and private sector. And I finally have a dean, well, I've had a dean for the past year, who comes from a very similar background and frankly understands and has empowered me. And I suspect he's going to do a lot going forward to empower all of you. So with that little teaser, I'm going to hand it over to Nick Allard.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Askin. So, for those of you who are following this virtually, I look like a cross between Steve Jobs and Alan Clark, and I'm dressed in the entrepreneur's uniform, so I am incredibly plugged in, connected with your world. And you can, that's pretty funny. Now, come on. Well, my wife Marla's in the back. She likes to hear some new material, so. Now, November 9th, 1979 was the day I heard that I passed the New York State bar exam. It was also, and you should remind him of this, it was also the day when your featured speaker today, Senator Squadron, was born. So, you know, in terms of connections and who's closer to what's really going on, I'm going to leave you to be the judge. Also, if you Wikipedia Senator Squadron's background, this is, I'm not making this up, this is what it says. Prior to being elected to the Senate, he was at the Fieldston School, you know, in what, the Bronx? Is that where it is?
Riverdale.
Riverdale, okay. Well, what can I say? He's very young, he's very capable, he's very with it. We're very fortunate to have him here later. This program is one of the initiatives that is so important, so we welcome you here inside our law school. I want you to know that the Brooklyn Law School gets it. We are very supportive and welcoming of your community. Our doors are open to you. We really understand, in a way, because as old as I am, for over 40 years, I've been working with startups, entrepreneurs, and increasingly people in the new tech area. One of the reasons I've been working with those people is that whenever I was looking for clients, as a young lawyer, then a middle-aged lawyer, then a really old, pudgy, balding, later middle-aged lawyer, every time I went to one of the fat cat incumbents, they were already heavily lawyered up. So I just automatically had to work with the people that were trying to break into the market. So I think I have a pretty good sense, based on 4 decades of work, of what it takes to start something new. One of the things we've been talking about is the link between law, lawyers, and entrepreneurs. Now those two things, if I say legal entrepreneurs, it may seem like an oxymoron, it may seem like that's the last thing in the world you want to think about. But my experience over time is the people who take an idea, a concept, get it in the market, and then progress and really make the most of it, are the ones that are thinking about the legal issues ahead of time and have lawyers on board, not who say no all the time, but who say, here's how. And my suggestion is that you consider having lawyers help you advance your ideas at the takeoff, not just the crash. And there's so many things where lawyers can be helpful to you in just asking the tough questions, helping you get organized in a formal way. If, God forbid, it doesn't work out, at least you have a legal prenup for your business and you know you can work things out. But also, say for IP, guarding your intellectual property, given the free domain concept and DNA especially people in high-tech area have, it's often not something that is focused on until you're successful, and then you want to start capturing some of the returns that are very appropriate for what you've created, and then by that time it's out and gone and too late. So I'm just suggesting, not that you over-lawyer, but that you get the right lawyer. Now, on the same token, one of the things we're trying to do here with Professor Askin's help is to provide training for people that understand how are you supportive. How it's different. It's different being a lawyer for a startup, an entrepreneur like my wife's father, Ephraim, who started 5 businesses. They're a special brand, and you really need to know how to work with that kind of a personality, and that's one of the things that we're trying to do. So we're not only opening our doors here to all of you, but we're trying to be as helpful and get out into the entire Brooklyn community to be engaged and supportive of the Brooklyn entrepreneurial movement. And so keep that in mind. If you need help, if you have a really tough problem, something that nobody's ever seen before, ask Jonathan. But if you have a really tough problem, or you just want to get going, we'll be as supportive as we can. I am very excited to say, and if quoted will deny, that in November 14th, I'm expecting to cut the ribbon on something very exciting, and it's going to be this law school's Center for Urban Business Entrepreneurship. So stay tuned for that. But we want Brooklyn not only to be the center of new business in the tech area, new creative businesses, but we want people all around the world to know that when you come here, you can learn how to be lawyers to support that movement. And so that's what our enterprise is all about. And Jonathan can fill you in. But don't tell anybody, because we don't want to preempt our own announcement on November 4th. But I wanted to show you a little leg and tell you that we really get it, and we're very serious about moving ahead in this area. Thank you very much. Jonathan.
Thank you so much. I think what you said about involving the legal team early in the startup process is huge. I've been in that game long enough to know that is sound advice. I don't buy breakfast cereal without consulting a lawyer at this point in my life. So I think that forward-thinking idea of really integrating legal and tech is going to be a huge thing for Brooklyn and for the schools. So that's really exciting stuff. And now we're going to hear from Azeem, who's a good friend of mine. There's a great company called Supshot. I think he'll tell you more about. It's very exciting.
Click-throughs just like this?
Yeah.
All right. How you doing, everyone? So Supshot's an app that essentially allows people to get paid for the photos and videos they take on their smartphones. So if I polled people in this room, I'd say literally every single one of you have a smartphone, and that all of you guys have taken pictures before, and that journalism is moving, not even just journalism, but photography, how events work, how media is consumed is moving these days towards a new chapter, and so we're trying to be the leaders in that. So right now there's a problem. There's no easy way for anyone to license or sell any of the photos or videos they're taking. There's amazing photos being taken every single day by people just like you and me. Statistically speaking, it's 500 million photos a day are uploaded onto the internet. So that's over 6,000 photos a second. By the end of the year, there's going to be over 1 billion photos a day. Right now, none of us would know exactly where to go if you wanted to sell an amazing photo to the New York Times. So recent events that had people like you and me that have taken photos or videos and put them on the internet and had them stolen by companies like the New York Times, Hurricane Sandy, the Oklahoma City tornadoes, the Boston bombings, the Alciano plane crash, everything going on in Egypt, Syria, Brazil, all those places all around the world. It's people like you and me documenting what's going on and us posting them for free to social media because we really don't know what else to do with them. These companies, they need the photos and videos, so they go on, they ask for permission to use them, they make millions of dollars on it, if not more, and no one's being compensated or credited for their work. So what we did was we created this app. So there's an easy problem. You don't know how to license these photos, but people have the photos and the media needs them. So how it works is essentially just you take the photo, you upload it onto the app, And you choose a licensing model, how much you want to sell it for, and you upload it. If someone likes it, then they can purchase it. We're not trying to compete with any of these major social media companies. We think you should still share it to them, get your comments, get your likes, get your retweets, but we think that you should still be able to get compensated for like your work, essentially. That's not important. I guess so. Yeah, it's just we make doing it easy. Every photo that you upload is tagged by location, tagged by time. You give it a hashtag and a description. Everything's filtered easily, so anyone who's looking to buy photos can. So this can be companies like the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal. It can also be if you want to take a picture of a nice sunrise and someone wants it for their Tumblr page. You go traveling and some travel magazine wants to buy your photo. It really can go anywhere. If you see Justin Bieber doing a line of coke in Brooklyn today, you can sell it to TMZ for $1 million. Think about it. We could kill the paparazzi industry, and everyone hates the paparazzi. Honestly, it's really as simple as that. There's really not too much to say about it. We're in beta right now. We launched on the App Store in June. We're increasing our user base. The marketplace isn't available yet. But it's really a simple and straightforward, scalable idea that we're trying to get as much press as possible, get people to hear about it, because right now people don't know that something like this exists. And until people do know, then all of these large media companies can keep taking advantage of all of us. And so, yeah, that's about it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Yes?
How do the publishers find the content? Just by searching the tags they're looking for?
Yeah, essentially. Right now, it's an interesting thing to do because we're trying to create a marketplace, which is difficult. You have to find the users and the buyers at the same time, but the other one doesn't want to come till you have the other one. You know, the New York Times doesn't want to purchase till we can tell them we have 100,000 photos uploaded, and the people who are uploading the photos say, well, if you guys don't have the buyers yet, then, you know, why should we upload the photos? Yes?
I'm a former professional photographer, and now I do angel investing. Rights can get very complex. I mean, how do you, beyond just the initial sale, how are you going to handle it? You know, rights, usage and rights can get very complex really quick.
Completely agreed. Truth be told, we've lawyered up very well, just like Christine was saying. That's one of the things we've spent the most money on, and even raising money, putting our financials together. We're in the middle of fundraising right now, and a lot of the financial things is just like we need X amount of money towards lawyers, and we're overestimating because we realize we're probably going to get sued a lot too. We have the best copyright lawyers and media lawyers in New England that are going to be dealing with this. We're a Boston-based company at the moment. But yeah, there's no way around that. And there's no way for us to sit on the internet and figure it out, so we've just been figuring out who the best lawyers are. Yes?
So does this mean that if I take a picture and I upload it to Facebook, whatever, I also have to upload it again onto the doc?
We're going to create, it hasn't been built into API yet, but just sort of like right now when you upload a picture onto Facebook and you can have it also go onto Instagram or something like that, we're going to do something similar where if you upload it to one, you can upload it to your Flickr or to your Picasa, to everything at the same time.
Very cool. So Senator Squadron was actually just speaking in the Bronx, and he is just stuck in traffic. He will be here in 10 minutes. So if we're just gonna break for like 10 minutes, you guys aren't sitting here and we're not droning on, like wasting your time, because I don't want to do that, and I hope that you don't want that either. So like just 10 minutes, you know, the beer is still here. We'll just throw the music back on, and if you guys don't mind, I really apologize, but he will be here, I promise. It will be 10 minutes, yes. We totally could. It's a great suggestion. Okay, so one thing that we like to do normally afterwards is everyone that comes here is kind of here for a reason, and those of us that are here again are used to this. What we like to do is open it up to you guys, so that when everyone breaks out, like you guys have something to talk about, and like if you're looking for a job, people are looking to hire, so we want to match people, which is ultimately the reason that you're here. So anyone that has a company they started, they want to just get news about, I mean, that's what he was trying to do, just like get more words in, they're looking for a job, now's the time to kind of just stand up and let everyone know. So does anyone have anything, any projects they're working on? Right now, we have a saver here, thank you. She's better than we are.
Yes, I said this before, my company is still looking for front-end coders and or designers, so if you are interested, full-time position, junior, senior, however you want to talk about it, and actually UX designers too. We're hiring everything.
So basically, if you're looking for a job, she's a great person to talk to. Is anyone here looking for a job? Anyone, your skills? Announce yourselves. Yeah.
Can I just say, if someone wants to be on the webcast and so more people hear what they're saying, they should use the mic and also kind of like stand up.
Yeah. Here you go. There you go. Come on, raise your hand. It's too late. You gotta go.
My name's Asa. I moved here about a month and a half ago from Brooklyn. I've been a PIC developer.
I'll do a shot
I'm working
thing.
for a company that makes database software for manufacturing companies. In language, it's about 40 years old. And now in New York City, and deciding it might be time to stop telecommuting and start looking for local employers and local opportunities in the area. Thank you very much. Anyone else?
Hi, Lou Smuckler. I'm a attorney with Lowenstein Sandler. I'm in the tech group. We specialize in the representation of startup companies and the investors that invest in them. We're very involved in the tech scene, and we're getting more involved down here in Brooklyn. So if you have any questions, and I've heard it here today, you need to lawyer up, and you need to lawyer up quickly. So come see me if you have any questions. Thanks. Anyone else?
Yeah. Come on.
Hi, I'm Paul.
It happens.
This better? Yeah, a little more sane. Hi, I'm Paul Commoners. I'm the research director at TurboVote. We make voting much easier and push people reminders about upcoming elections. We are looking for full-stack developers, and I'm also looking for some short-term research support on November elections. I need somebody to call election offices that aren't publishing their information online and ask them a couple of questions to make sure that we can serve the election effectively.
Hello, I am Trina DeLandro. I'm the new community manager for Technically Brooklyn. So I know there are several startups in here, and if you would like to get your company written up, profiled, and spread out across the Brooklyn Tech Scene Network, as we're working to do right now, please feel free to come talk to me, and I will get somebody to write you up.
Thank you. Anyone else? You guys got it? Yeah? Right in the back. Yeah.
Hi, I'm DK Smith. I run the Brooklyn Startups Meetup. It's a meetup that's been around for a year. I just took it over a month ago. We've got some serious meetups in terms of education for startups. The first one is what is an angel investor? But they're going to get even deeper and heavier there. So please go on Meetup, join Brooklyn Startups. We're going to be, I think, launching probably September, or like third week of September is going to be our first meetup. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we got one in the back. Yeah? There we go. Sure.
Following up on my other lawyer colleague over here, my name is Jeff Michalchuk. I don't work at a big firm. I used to, but then I decided to branch off and start my own shop. I have my own office down in Dumbo. I was a finance lawyer for about 8 years, and so I'm well versed in kind of helping out young companies, small and medium-sized businesses, tech startups. Help kind of formalize an idea about their financing options and about business development in general. So if anyone wants to talk, feel free to reach out to me. I'll give you a card and we can talk later. Thanks.
Yeah, I got one in the back.
It seems like it's the lawyer forum. I'm an attorney as well. What's your name? Jeff. Jeff. My name is Steve Pippinger. I've been practicing for about 10 years. Before that, I used to build satellite networks, so I have a little bit different background than an awful lot of lawyers because I've actually worked in a non-legal capacity for a number of years. And I've worked in startups and Fortune 500 companies, so I kind of understand both aspects of that. And like I said, like Jeff said, I've kind of gone out on my own as well. And I think I bring a different perspective because I've actually had to worry about setting a company up, and I can help a entrepreneur, small business understand the difference between an LLC and a corporation and why you would want to do one or the other, and then also connect people with various financing options.
Cool. Does anyone else want to say something? Yeah.
My name is Dustin. I'm with MakerBot. So MakerBot's a 3D printer company, and what we do is we provide innovators, designers, and entrepreneurs the ability to rapidly prototype their designs. If they're frustrated with kind of bringing their designs to life, that's where we come into play. I've been to a lot of meetups where the companies have said that the solution to getting their product to market in time was having a machine that helped them prototype it rapidly. So I'll be around for a little bit. If that fits any of your needs, let me know.
Is it true that MakerBot is moving from Brooklyn to Queens?
No, we are Brooklyn based and we're here to stay.
Okay.
That's the right answer.
And their councils are Brooklyn Law Grads. Does anyone here not know, has anyone here not heard of MakerBot? Don't be shy. Maybe our foreigners haven't. So a couple months ago, the Brooklyn Tech Meetup and we and Queens Tech Meetup all hosted a forum for the mayoral candidates. And the question was raised from the, you were probably filming this one.
And to Anthony Weiner, had he heard of MakerBot?
No, yeah, the question was from the audience, what do you think about MakerBot and what they're doing? And Weiner goes, what the hell is MakerBot? It sounds like a beer they brew in Williamsburg. The next day, MakerBot sold for $600 million, and Anthony Weiner's career took another tumble. Where are we? Who's next?
All right.
Comments from our foreign visitors?
I got a little bit of shameless self-promotion. Jason and I started a new fun thing. It's called the Super Happy Awesome Fun Times. And the general gist is it's structured like a sports league minus the whole athletic ability thing. So we get together about once a week. We do things like, board games and trivia challenges and scavenger hunts and capture the flag and mini golf and things of that nature. Really serious stuff. But basically the idea is just meeting up and having fun so you have something to do after work. shaftnyc.com, you should be in the league. It's really awesome. It's very serious.
All right, folks, thanks for bearing with us. It's my sincere pleasure to have the privilege to introduce Senator Squadron. He's been, for those of you who don't know him and his history, by the way, Nick Allard read from your Wikipedia page, and it sounds like you ran...
I hope the new Wikipedia page.
Well, I printed it out also. It does indicate that you became a state senator upon graduating from Fieldston.
That is true with some period between.
Yeah, I think we've all seen the commercials with Senator Schumer touting your skills and the value you bring to the city. In any case, personally, I've got to say he's been a wonderful friend, ally, and advocate for the tech community, the Brooklyn tech community in particular. I've been to many events in which he's spoken and has championed us in a pretty terrific way. So if you haven't had the pleasure to hear Senator Squadron, here's your opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me and for coming out tonight. I know, like all of you, you should know that I'm pretty consumed right now by the citywide campaign that's happening. So I thank all of you for taking a few minutes from the campaign trail to be here tonight at the Brooklyn Tech Meetup. I really appreciated the invitation from Jonathan and from the organization, so I've really been wanting to make it. So I'm really glad to be here. We are right in my district, just a couple blocks from my house. I'm just coming from the Bronx and heading back over to Queens, so it's nice to kind of touch base at home briefly. I'm sorry it will only be brief, and I hope that however brief I am tonight, you'll have me back at some other time to stay until the last person struggles out of here completely bored with their eyes crossed with all of the confusing things I've said. I am 14 days today from a Democratic primary for public advocate, which I'm running for, and it is a big city out there. But a big part of this big city is what's happening in the tech world. And what's happening in the tech world, both sort of, specifically when people talk about tech and you talk about computer science, programming, and all sorts of online innovations. But also when you talk about tech in terms of sort of the new economy of New York. You talk about freelancers, you talk about entrepreneurialism, you talk about all sorts of folks who are bringing in creativity and a vibrancy into New York we didn't have before. Very briefly, 3 things I've worked on around that. One is benefit corporations. Does anyone here know what benefit corporations are? So these are for-profit corporations. I know you do. So these are for-profit corporations that also are able to do good. I found out about them knocking on doors when I was running for office the first time. And it's a great idea because it's part of the innovative new economy. Entrepreneurs who want to make a living, investors who want to get a return on their dollars, but folks who also have some sort of social mission or goal. There really was no space for that before. Because the truth is, the moment you're arm's length investors as an entrepreneur, you had to maximize value. As an investor, as much as you're promised that there's also a social good, it's really not the entrepreneur or the manager's responsibility to pursue it. Benefit corporations changed that. They changed the contract between investor and manager. And so I was able to write legislation, became the model legislation. We now have benefit corporations in New York State and 6 others and 20 benefit corporations in New York. And for those of you who are thinking of starting your own thing, it is a great community, and a community not unlike the one I'm looking at tonight, that I really recommend you become part of and become aware of. Because it is a great kind of 21st century way of thinking of the economy. A great way to think about both being an entrepreneur and I'm sure all of you will be investors and angel investors within a decade, so also prepare for that. The second is freelancers. How many people here remember the freelancers union? No one? Oh. I was gonna say, just a slight delay, I guess. The healthcare is very good, but not as good as it could be, just a slight delay on the answer. So, look, what the freelancers are doing is truly innovative. We know that because of all the accolades they've gotten. But it really does change what it means to be a freelancer, to have that in this city. The truth is, all kinds of state law is designed in ways that don't make any sense for the freelancer economy. One great thing about the freelancers union is they've been able to partner with me to push legislation against wage theft, which really it is what happens when you don't get paid for contracts you have. To push for the ability to expand their healthcare clinic. I made that joke about freelance healthcare. The truth is, the model that they're developing and expanding to more and more of their members is one of the best models out there that exists. And this is the kind of thing that you need government for. I bet a bunch of people here are sort of a libertarian streak, or think that, that alone, without government, as long as government gets out of the way, you're going to do great. And that is true in some ways. But it's also true that government is the legacy system in a lot of ways. And if it doesn't move and innovate with you, then it's actually going to hold back the great things that you want to do. And it's a great way to help you build community. So the truth is, as much as I know this is an independent, pioneer, maverick kind of industry, it's also one that does better when you have communities of expertise, knowledge, the Wikipedia model in many different forms. The third thing is this city and sort of what's happening in my district. The CUSP Center at 370 J Street. It's going to be the second of the applied sciences centers that's expanding in the city here, part of the NYU Poly. Is a great opportunity for New York to be a center for not just innovation, but for things beyond innovation, the next generation's next generation. And New York City is investing in that at Cornell Technion over in Roosevelt Island, but also right here in downtown Brooklyn, which is great because something that's happened on its own. Just huge parts of the new economy and the tech economy are here in Brooklyn, in Dumbo, and Williamsburg, and that is a huge and important part of what the city is. New York City's great genius isn't that we're the city of finance, or the city of law, or the city of media. In fact, everyone here I'm sure remembers the first line of Moby Dick. Does anyone here remember the first line? Has anyone here heard of Moby Dick? Call me Ishmael, thank you. I like your t-shirt. First line of the second paragraph is on the Isle of Manhattan. In those days, if you wanted to be in shipping or whaling, you wanted to be in New York City. This was the place to be for shipping and whaling. New York's great genius isn't any one industry. It is that we are the center of excellence and opportunity. People from around the world who have nothing but want to be part of this great engine of opportunity. People from around the world who have everything and want to choose to be here. People who are raising families and growing. New York's great genius is the collection of genius that we get. And we need to be able to do that, not just for the industries of the 20th century, but for the industries of the 21st. And that's why things like CUSP and Cornell Technion and what's happening in Dumbo and Williamsburg are so important. Because in 100 years, we need to be the center of whatever that is. And that's what all of you are. You are the beginning of that. So that is sort of a brief introduction to issues having nothing to do with my campaign. Thank you for giving me 2 minutes off the trail. I will take 2 questions. I will answer them each in 30 seconds. Then I will go back, and I will ask you to support me on September 10th in the Democratic primary, because the truth is, I'm serious about this, the best way to get tech, innovation, freelancing, the new economy involved in government is to have partners who really understand government, and then let you do the understanding of what we need to know. And it's that bridge that makes the most difference. With that, I'll take 2 questions, 30 seconds each. 12 seconds left. No questions? I left nothing else. Yes, sir. Next to the cool t-shirt. I have no idea what that t-shirt means. I don't even know what I don't know what compiling means in that context.
I'm a huge fan of the current public advocate's work to take city data about outstanding issues and put them out online with the landlord watch list and the NYCHA watch list. Are there any similar projects you would like to take on as public advocate?
Absolutely. So I have 20 specific ideas for public advocate. Read them on my website, squadronfornewyork.com. Don't worry, it's only about 22 pages and 9 pages of footnotes, so it's easy reading. Those 20 ideas include targeting the office to really where it most makes a difference, which is issues that aren't otherwise getting taken on. Public advocate chases the issues already getting taken on, not going to make any difference to people's lives. Got to take on the issues no one is. So the landlord watch list I would actually continue and expand. That's one of those ideas. The foil and transparency push this public advocate has done, I continue. I actually set a goal of having the vast, vast majority, 95 or 95%, of all the information the city is required to make public in machine-readable format in 4 years. Because just making a public data dumps make no sense, but machine-readable format is the key thing, right? So that's a second one. There's a third one, which is right now the mayor puts out this big thing twice a year called the Mayor's Management Report. And it's actually machine-readable, it's gotten very accessible. But basically what it is data as tested by the city against its own goals. What I would want to do is use that, use all the wealth of knowledge in this room and rooms like this, to create a people's performance report. Basically, to take that data, flip it on its head. We don't have the resources to do data from scratch. To figure out how it relates to actual experiences on the ground, not just internal goals set in the bureaucracy, which is actually a major access point. The fourth thing I'd like to do, which is have a much more accessible city budget proposal online. We're not quite there yet, but that would be huge. Yes, final question.
Who are you backing for mayor?
I have not endorsed anyone for mayor. By the way, quick poll in the room.
Do you plan to?
I plan to vote. I know.
That was a politician's answer.
I know who I'm voting for controller, Scott Stringer. I know I'm voting for public advocate.
What about Brooklyn's #1 candidate?
For mayor? Yep. Let's quick poll. John Liu. Okay. Do people need to close their eyes? This needs to be a secret ballot. Okay. John Liu, Bill Thompson. Okay. Bill de Blasio, Christine Quinn, Anthony Weiner, and your anonymous man in the back. Okay. Someone else. One of the Republicans or Sal Albanese or. Okay, look at that, interesting room.
We're writing in Daniel Squadron.
So I know I've not made an endorsement. If the vote was tomorrow, I don't know who I'd vote for, obviously.
If you had quoted someone other than Melville, half the great writers in the English language have lived or are from Brooklyn. You could have quoted Whitman or Capote or any of the Jonathans.
That's right, you can tell I'm not a panderer because I quoted Melville. By the way, whose vote did I win by quoting Melville? See, totally ineffective. Not even the guy who did the line. Thank you very much. It's good to see you all. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, cool. So thank you so much, Daniel, by the way, before they go ahead. Yeah, so thank you guys for coming. So we took care of the open forum, which is kind of what we do at the end, but thanks to a great suggestion from a great member of our community, we took care of it now. So yeah, the beer is still here, and you guys are welcome to hang out and just kind of chat with people. And yeah, so thank you again for coming. Right.
Or like involved in the campaign or anything in between, just let me know. I'll be here. There's some stuff on the side.
Yeah.